Hey Clashers, and welcome back to another video. And today is a super cool one because today we have a really cool ranking and we're going to rank out of the strategies which you can see down there in this ranking. So we have like God tier, S tier, A tier, B tier, and C tier, and we're going to rank all of those strategies like from drag bat to like smashes to queen charges to Lalo. All of those strategies are going to be ranked. And I'm going to rank them based on, obviously, how they performed in the World's Warm Tournament, but as well, depending on how you can use them in Legend and in Clan War. I feel like those are two important things. So, for example, if you have to hit like 10 different bases, how do we rank those strategies? So that's kind of important, I feel like, as well. And first thing, every single strategy on this list can triple. Every single strategy on this list is not bad. It's all about how good are other options in this game, and if you compare those to each other. So let's get started. Let's get started with drag bat. And I feel like drag bat is a solid start because we have a really good A tier pick. I feel like drag bat right now is not really weak, but drag bat right now at the same time is relying on the blimp to take down the town hall. It's kind of similar to the Zap Dragon attack, and I feel like right now in the meta we have a lot of blimps baited. And I feel like this makes the strategy so risky that I feel like it's not deserving S tier. It's still A tier, it's still a really solid strategy, both of them. But I feel like, S tier, we have other strategies which are way better. So I feel like drag bats are better as Zap Drag, but, well, still, both solid A tier picks. The next one is going to be E-Dragons. And no, I'm just kidding, I won't put them into C tier. But at the same time, putting them onto the same level as A tier would be not fair. So the problem right now for Electric Dragon is the current meta, which is a lot of super wizards, so people are spreading out their buildings, which is making it really rough for Electric Dragons to work. Obviously, they can still work, but compared to other strategies, they're not that good, especially compared to the Inferno Dragon strategy, which kind of like replaced the Electric Dragons. Before that, Electric Dragon was like the almighty air spam strategy. Now we're having that replaced with those Inferno Dragons, which are completely demolishing bases. Not only in Legend you can see a lot of people really high up there in trophies, but as well in the Clan War. And as I said, those are the two things we're looking at, considering how many bases can you attack like with this specific strategy. And I feel like Inferno Dragons have nearly no to none weaknesses overall. And that's something important to say. So right now, the strongest attack strategy is going to be Inferno Dragons. The next one is going to be a Legend armored composition as well, which is the Golems, the Super Wizard. Sometimes there are some witches in there, but the key is always the Log Launcher with the 8 Earthquakes. And I have to put this into B tier because I feel like it is kind of easy to defend. And if you guys are now wondering, how can you defend this strategy? Get ready for Sunday, because at Sunday, on Sunday I will push, like I will put out another Legend base, which is completely like giving this strategy no chance at all. But let's anyway take a look at quickly at one of those strategies. It's pretty like standard always. You put the earthquakes in, you put in your log launcher, then just rage everything into the core with those witches, with the super wizards. Some people preferring to go only super wizards. I feel like the more common thing to do is the super wizard and the witch combination. But either way, it's a really powerful strategy, especially in Legend, because you can just overpower a lot of bases. It's really not that easy kind of to defend on default, so you actually have to test your bases with this. And well, that's it. So let's take a look at the next strategy, which is the Yeti Smash. And I feel like you can combine them still with like bowlers, super wizards, things like that. But I just think the Yeti as a tank is not that powerful anymore. I feel like the problem right now is that the Pekka just became so strong. And Yetis, I mean, they are your tanks, and still they can be just spring trapped away. So I feel like that's a super weak point for them. And it's really, if they're running into a bait with like a lot of spring traps, you have no chance to come back. And this to me is putting them into B tier. The next strategy, and that's going to be an interesting one, is one of the strategies which we saw at World's Warm-Up. That was like the Witch Super Giant Smash strategy, I would say, with Log Launcher as well, and that looked pretty strong. We're going to try that out really soon in Legend, and we'll upload that as a YouTube video. But I think what I have seen so far, I feel like solid A tier isn't the worst. At the same time, I would say put it like further behind in A tier. Not on the same like ranking as Dragbat or like Zap Drag, but still solid A. Now we have Super Witches. Super Witches should definitely be an S tier. I feel like Super Witches in the Clan War right now are just insanely strong. You have two variations out there, either with or without the lightnings, and they're so strong. Especially like getting over 50% in the Clash Worlds warm-up, and overall I'm going to use 22 times. That's a lot of times. I feel like this is, I'll have to double check here on the right side, but I feel like this is, yeah, the second most used strategy. The second most used strategy in Worlds warm-up, and that's quite impressive. So Super Witches are everywhere. I won't put them on Godlike tier just because I feel like in Legend they're kind of like not that great, and it's really based depending if you're using lightnings, non-lightnings, things like that. So that's why I would put them onto a solid S tier, but not higher than that. But still, it's a really good strategy which you can easily pick up, and that was one of the videos where I kind of like showcased that. Now we have the Pekka Smash, and I feel like Pekka Smash in Legend League is God tier, but Pekka Smash in Clan War I would say is S tier. I feel like it's kind of in between. If it's possible, I would put that in between of God tier and S tier. But I guess I will put this into S tier just to highlight how strong God tier is. It's still stronger, in my opinion, than Super Witches, which is totally like my personal opinion. But I feel like Super Witches and Pekka Smash, both in S tier, is a pretty good fit, in my opinion. So either way, one thing I want to note at this point is, if the strategy is further like on the left, then it's better even if it's on the same ranking. So for example, both S tier, Super Witches and Pekka Smash, but in my opinion, Pekka Smash a bit stronger. Now we're coming to Hog Riders, Queen Charge Hogs. And that's a difficult strategy to rank. Don't get me wrong, I don't think this strategy can't triple, and we saw it many times. But at the same time, I feel like Queen Charge Hogs is such a base depending strategy that it's really not deserving A tier. And I feel like it's even weaker, for example, than the Golem Earthquake Smash. Because I feel like Queen Charge Hogs is just, Hogs are so weak, like HP wise. And kind of this, I feel like kind of the same with Queen Charge Miners. They on their own, just alone as a Queen Charge variation, they are so weak because they have so many weak points. For example, like Miners with the skeleton spells, like Hog Riders with giant bombs. It is just crazy. And even more crazy is the next thing, which is if you combine those and make a hybrid out of it, it's one of the strongest strategies in the game. Queen Charge Hybrid was the most used strategy in the Clash of Clans Worlds warm-up, and it had like a 65.4% hit rate, which is the second highest hit rate if we actually take into account like all of these strategies, which were actually used more than like 5 to 10 times. So really, really strong strategy. And I feel like it is stronger than the Super Witches. I feel like it is still stronger, even though you can mess up a lot of things. But even if things are going wrong with the healers transitioning over, Queen Charge Hogs is just so crazy. Queen Charge Hybrid is just so crazy strong. And that's giving us the opportunity to talk about the next strategy, which is Queen Charge Lalo. And I have to say, I won't put the Queen Charge Lalo on the same level as Queen Charge Hybrid just because of what I mentioned. If your queen dies in Queen Charge Hybrid, you can still save this and can still get the 3 stars because your healers are going to switch over. Different in Lalo. In Lalo, if your queen dies, it's RIP. Yes, the strategy is incredibly good, but I feel like it is not on the same level as S tier on Hybrid. The next one is going to be a tricky thing. I have to talk a bit more about this one. The next one is going to be Sui Lalo. That's like the Loon and the Hound just. It is just Sui Lalo without any extra things overall. So just Sui Lalo. I feel like I have to put this onto Godlike here just because I feel like the best players in the world with that strategy are just so good that this is one of the only strategies which is right now even coming close to Inferno Dragons, in my opinion. There are only a couple of players in the entire world which can actually execute and on like a constant level get those 3 stars in with this strategy and can actually say they kind of like not master it, but they're pretty good at it. And I feel like this strategy is just so incredibly strong, but at the same time so hard to pull off, which I feel like is a good thing. But at the same time, that's what I would like to give it like a lot of props because it is just the strongest. There are a lot of like different variations out there, for example, with like lightnings, Skelli Donut, where we are going to talk about in a second. But I feel like this strategy, if you can execute it, you don't need all of those additional things. I feel like all of those additional things, like the Blizzard Blim, for example, all of those things are just helping you to kind of like carve out the base, make better pathing. But with Sui Lalo, you have to do all of that with your spells and just with your Loon as a deployment. So I feel like it is insane strong, but you have to be able to execute that. Next strategy is the Lightning Lalo, and I feel like it is kind of the same with the Skelli Donut. Lalo. They're for me on the same level. Maybe the lightning a little bit further ahead, but either way, most of the time you combine them anyway. So I feel like they're still ahead of the Pekka Smash just because Lalo, depending if you would say you can master the strategy, and we're always talking about people that master the strategy, then for me, Lalo is ahead of the Pekka Smash. And now we have the Blizzard Lalo. I have to say, this is, I think, yes, one of the most fun strategies to use, but at the same time, I feel like weaker to the others because there is no way you can bait a lightning, right? Like if you deploy the lightnings and you hit your targets, it's going to be dead either way. Different with like the Blizzard. You can bait that, and that's why we don't see that in competitive play too often. In Legend, for example, the same, and that's why I'm putting it still in S tier, still a really solid strategy, but I will put it behind Hybrid and behind Pekka Smash just because I feel like it's easier to bait, it's easier to build against this specific blimp. So this is my ranking, guys. As I said, all of those strategies can triple, and this is a really important disclaimer. All of those strategies can triple. They're all good. There is no really bad strategy at the moment. Maybe a couple of which I have not mentioned, but all of those listed are really good, are solid things. Once again, how I ranked them was based on how they perform in World's Warm-Up, how they, I think, are performing in Legend, in Clan War. And for example, if you're attacking 10 different bases, how they're doing over there, so variety. And obviously, every single time when someone is attacking with this strategy, it will be one of the best players with this specific strategy. So we have like a really nice baseline. Either way, the link for this poll, like for this ranking, is down below in the description. You can give me your own ranking. Let me know what you would have changed. What do you guys feel different? Or what do you guys think I messed up maybe? Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I really did. And well, guys, see you next time. See you tomorrow. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.